What's going on, everybody? Jack McKessie, Damian Parson, Keith Sanchez, Ryan Fowler from the Draft Network. Guys, we're in day 2, and quarterback Will Levis from Kentucky still on the board. A few fits that may fit his skill set. Jack, we'll start with you.
I think a really interesting one is the Los Angeles Rams. You know, they haven't had a pick yet in this draft. They have their first pick in the second round. Will Levis is a guy that can come in and be the new cornerstone of their franchise because Matt Stafford has been struggling with injuries. 2022 kind of went off the rails because of those injuries. Rams only won 5 games last year, right? So Will Levis can come in, maybe not necessarily start right away. Maybe he could take up the reins if Stafford struggles out of the gate or gets injured this season. But he could go into a full-time starter role in 2024 there in L.A.
I like that fit, but I want to go down to Motor City, Detroit, to the Detroit Lions. They have 2 picks in the second round. Yes, you have Jared Goff, but we all know that Jared Goff's not a franchise long-term answer. So in Ben Johnson's offense, you have Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have Jahmyr Gibbs
some
now.
ball players, right?
Great offensive line, right? So and Dan Campbell is the offensive-minded coach that he is. I think Will Levis can walk into this situation, red shirt 2023, right? They talk about a toe being the injury for him. Let him heal. Let him get 100% healthy, and then unleash him in 2024 in the high-octane offense.
Yeah. Keith.
Nah, I'm going to go to the Las Vegas Raiders, and they have to make a statement, right? Like, I'll go into last year, right? Going into last year, obviously Josh McDaniels hired as the head coach. Then Derek Carr is supposed to be this MVP candidate, and then all of a sudden Derek Carr can't play football anymore, and Josh McDaniels sit him for Jarrett Stidham, right? So I'm putting the pressure on Josh McDaniels, right? Like, figure something out and draft this rookie quarterback, right? It was supposedly Derek Carr's fault. So I want you to draft Will Levis, figure it out. This guy has all the tools, and move things forward. You don't have Darren Waller anymore. Jack, he's with your New York Giants. So, man, you have to figure some things out, and I'm putting all the pressure on Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, for me, it's maybe a little out of the ordinary, but it's with the Tennessee Titans. But first things first is the development of quarterbacks. And we want guys to come in right away and start from day one. And I look who's in the building right now, in Malik Willis, a guy that came out of Liberty last year, all the tools and traits in the world, those common words that we hear. And I hate giving up on the guy after 1 year, but as far as getting guys in the building and competing for snaps, I think Tennessee may be a sneaky spot. But another quarterback that is still on the board as well that some people had ranked higher than Will Levis in this process is Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. And the question I ask for you guys is, do any of you guys see potentially Hendon going over Will today? Or really, what may be a team that may fit his skill set the best? And Keith, I go to you.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see it. And we have to know that the NFL is a trendy league, right?
Exactly right.
We just seen Jalen Hurts was a guy that, coming out of college, people talked about accuracy issues, what system does he need to play in? And then now he's a guy that just almost signed a $200 million guaranteed contract, took his team to the Super Bowl. So if you ask me if Hendon Hooker has a path, yes, I think so. I think there's a realistic shot that an NFL team is going to look at Hendon Hooker. We talked to him at the Senior Bowl, guy with elite level character, right? Like somebody that you're going to bet on day in and day out, and a guy that he still has room to get better. And in this NFL offense now, where the NFL is more predicated on dual threat quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, I definitely think there's a chance that some NFL GM is like, you know what, that's a diamond in the rough in Hendon Hooker, and he might not be able to play year 1, but guess what? I'm going to bet that he's going to get everything together mentally and then be ready to roll come year 2.
Yeah, in terms of should he go over Will Levis, if the toe is as bad as the reports are making it seem, then sure, right? If the toe is the reason why he fell at first round, then yeah, you put Hendon Hooker over him. In terms of tools and traits, I can't even lean that direction. I got to go Will Levis over him. But in terms of fits, I think about the Rams. The Rams is a great situation for him because you know that, yes, he's throwing again. He's got the sleeve on, the knee from the torn ACL. He will not have to play, hopefully at all. Like, hopefully Matthew Stafford stays healthy. He doesn't have to play, but you can redshirt him and really just kind of see what you have with the young man. The elite character is one big thing. He's got the arm. He's got the mobility. But like you said, he's not going to play right now. I'd rather him go to a situation where he can truly sit, and I think he can sit in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I was going to say, for me, the age, I know the age has been a big thing with Hendon Hooker. It really doesn't scare me, guys, to be honest with you, because if you look at quarterbacks in this league, was it a 5, 6, 7 year window outside of the elite guys in this league where their performance ceiling is reached? So at 5, 7 years right now, Hendon is 31, 32. It's crazy to say that a 32-year-old is considered old, but in football terms, obviously it is. But you mentioned the Rams. I like the fit, but with Hendon, he's battle-tested. At Virginia Tech, that tape, guys, at times was completely unwatchable. It was really disgusting at times, right? Goes to Tennessee and the SEC, and I know a lot of half-field reads, Cedric Tillman, Jalen Hyatt on either side of the field, and a good offensive line to boot as well. You got Darnell Wright on the right side. It helps, right? But think you go into the NFL and a guy you talked about him, just a leader. It matters, leading grown men, difference in leading college guys. Hendon Hooker's a guy I may think about taking over Will Levis. Jack?
It's interesting you brought up the age because that was something I was going to bring up. I think that's going to come up to the GMs around the NFL and whether or not they are worried about that age factor. Because on top of the fact, he's already an old prospect, right? He's 25 years old. He's going to have to sit out a year because of this ACL injury. And so that kind of pushes everything back a step, kind of takes off a year of his development potentially, getting reps on the field during his first year in the NFL, and then he'll be 26 going into his first year starting. That's kind of a late time to start developing players, and that's really going to scare some NFL GMs. And so that might be what ends up pushing Levis above him, even if some teams like what Hendon has.
I would say this, thinking of other teams, we talk about team needs and fits. The other team I think about, because we want to put these rookie quarterbacks in good situations, right? That's what we all want to do. We believe in that. The Tampa Bay Bucks, right? They went interior defensive line yesterday, but this was a team where, and obviously we're talking about the greatest of all time, but Tom Brady came over. But I don't think the cupboard is bare. I don't think this is a team where you have to just tear it down and be like, you know what, we're starting from scratch. They are a starting quarterback away from being competitive in the NFC South, right? Like Mike Evans is still there. They still have talent on the defensive side of the football. So Tampa Bay Bucks is a key one, honestly, because, I mean, what do you have to lose? Because now we're talking about the second round. So when you're talking about value, right? You're getting good value if you're drafting a potential starting quarterback in the second round. Like we just talked about, 2 quarterbacks. Derek Carr went the top of the second round, right? Jalen Hurts went in the second round. So I'm definitely taking a swing on those guys if I'm the Tampa Bay Bucks, because you almost have nothing to lose and a whole lot to gain.
Yeah, 2 names to look out for: Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky, and Hendon Hooker, quarterback from Tennessee. Make sure you keep it locked to TDN all week long as we continue our coverage of the 2023 NFL Draft.